Our mission is to empower you to use your knowledge and intuition to create a portfolio that works for you, to build the confidence you need to navigate the crypto market, and to feel secure when you're ready to invest into the new financial system. We care. Our investments, we take them personally. We will never present a coin or a project to you that we have not invested in ourselves or done the extensive research we feel is required. At Vibra, we are a team that will take you step by step through the cryptocurrency market with confidence. Being a client of Vibra allows you exclusive access to our community in our private Discord server where you can chat with our consultants. They are ready, willing, and able to help you with any of your problems. These services are a rich resource for those of you that are looking for a place to start that they can trust. Becoming a client of Vibra starts with welcoming you to share your long and short-term goals with us by scheduling a complimentary 15-minute chat via phone or Zoom. We look forward to getting to know more about you and how we can best assess your individual asset, portfolio, and financial goals. We provide solutions on how to self-custody your crypto as well as how to gain exposure without directly owning crypto. Ultimately, this leads us to maintaining a long-standing relationship based on trust. We are committed to empowering and educating crypto investors on how to take and make decisions and maximize returns. We provide value with extensive market knowledge, active portfolio management, and our industry associates so you can reach your financial goals.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I have two very special guests. I have Black HEXican and Redburn One, women of the HEXican community here with me today. And we will be talking about setting goals. And I am so excited to hear more from them about this. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm not muted. Thanks for having me.
Yes, very happy to be here with you ladies.
I am really excited to tackle the subject of goal setting because I know that is something that both of you are very familiar with. So whether it's setting goals for your health, your wealth, yourself, I think that they all kind of fall into one big category. And I know that we're a good team to break it down and make this something that people can really plan out and make accessible through sharing our story and our example of what we're working on right now. So I can't wait to talk about this golf tournament anymore, but I want to hear a little bit. I want to hear about it from you, Black HEXican, and let's start off with that.
Okay, we're going to go straight into the golf tournament.
Yeah, let's go straight into it because I'm just really, I have it up. I want to share it with you guys, and I want to get, I'm like so excited to get this out and started. Let's go for it. And let's see, I'm going to share my screen here with you guys so that we can take a look at the website and get that referenced. Okay.
Sure.
Wow, here we go. All right.
Yeah. So it started with us planning for the Million Post Tour, right? And when we were making our plans for the tour, everything was always going to be contingent on Post-Chain launching. So when we thought we had a date, mid-May, then we got into overdrive. We're like, okay, PostCon is coming. Our tour is going to go through PostCon. Then we're going to do more, workshops and, the whole 9 yards. It was pretty soon after mid-May that we realized, okay, Post-Chain may not be launching, maybe not June, maybe not July. Who knows when Post-Chain is going to launch? And we don't want to sit on our hands and just wait for Post-Chain. We are onboarders, we believe in providing crypto education. We want to be out in the communities, teaching and just telling people what great opportunity Hex is, especially with the price being where it is. We shouldn't be, going away from onboarding. Like we onboarded at 50 cents, at 30 cents and all that. We have to continue to stand behind this product and continue to teach, about the power of the T-share and what it can do to change your life. And so when we decided to go ahead and move the tour dates as far as the post-chain based workshop events to 2023, we wanted to still fill up our calendar, but fill it up with a focus of building community within Chain, right? Preparing for the launch, and then following up with doing some intro to cryptocurrency workshops. Just very introductory, like almost like intro to DeFi, learning the difference between centralized exchange and DeFi, and having your own keys and all those very useful fundamental steps that the masses, still don't have a understanding of, right? The majority of people that you meet, if they do own some kind of crypto, they own it on Coinbase or Robinhood, and they have no idea what MetaMask or a hardware wallet or anything like that is. And so we want to continue to, provide this education. And so being that PostCon was happening, and we know, that there's going to be thousands of people coming into the city for this, thousands of projects that are planning to launch on PostChain here at this event. We're like, we want to do something that's social, that's fun, that encourages networking, and that bridges community. Because you'll see that there's a lot of infighting, right? From this project to this project. But if they're good projects, right? If the code stands up, then at the end of the day, they help PostChain. Like we don't want a ghost chain. We want people to develop on PostChain, right? So we need to bridge these different communities and have a opportunity for everybody to come out and see how we can work together to further the awareness of the chain as a whole. So that's why we did the golf tournament. That was, the brain behind it. And so, me being one of the main organizers and being very active in our Hex Ladies, community, I wanted you guys there. I reached out to Sammy and our different ladies in the groups, you guys, and I said, hey, will you guys support this effort of bringing women, into this, showing that we can represent Hex, that we could play golf, that we could potentially win this golf tournament and reign, the queens of the Postmasters, right? And you guys have been more than I ever could have expected. The way that the ladies have just, all stepped up in all their different ways. I can help with this. I can help with this. That's how you know that there's something so special within this Hex community. So
truly, like you said, many hands make lighter work. And if so many of us can come to the table without ego, which we are all, that is like one special thing that we get to witness firsthand in these gatherings is, that firsthand exchange of respect and communication skills, like at their finest. It's the most beautiful thing to witness and be a part of, like getting those memes out. Nobody's shooting ideas down. Everybody's encouraging. So we're getting so much done, with everything we're doing. Yeah.
And,
awesome.
Everybody's stepping into their own role in their own way. And it's so complimentary, it's not forced. Like no one's being told, no one's sitting there with the short straw, with the task nobody wants. Like all the tasks so far are being accomplished organically. Like when does that happen? Like that just means that we're all very passionate about this. Both, PulseCon, this tournament, what like HEXican and the team are doing. I personally am very passionate about that. like you guys are just freaking amazing. Blow my mind all the time. And so, that the feelings we have for the project are just so evident in the way we're communicating within the groups. And there's multiple like chats, groups of different sizes, from what have we got, 30 of us down to 4, like almost like focus groups.
Absolutely. And that's what's really important to understand, is that we are a diverse group of women, right? We have women that love the edge. They love to push the boundaries of, sexuality and language and all of it. And then we have women that are conservative, right? And both is totally okay, right? But we also have to realize what type of space that we're in and what it is that we're trying to accomplish right now. If our goal is to accomplish finding golf with like professional golfers or women that are really good golfers to come and join us for golfing, then no, we're probably not going to have an ad that's totally, based in kinky jokes and promiscuous photos, right? But if we're asking a community of Hexicans that's probably 92-3% men to help us with our task of raising money for this sponsorship to come out of their pockets in a bear market, right? You better have something good to offer them. And if we're not ourselves gonna, get cute, then what's wrong with a couple funny memes, right?
You go ahead.
Absolutely. And it's important to know your audience. The theme of this particular stream being goal setting, part of goal setting and getting the resources you need into achieving your goals. Let's face it, most of our goals are not something we can accomplish on our own. We need to pull together our resources, different messages for different resources, right? Different tools for different jobs. So, right. The professional golfers, okay, high fives with Martha Stewart, the 92%, HEXican population of guys. Yeah, that's going to take something a lot more, flirtatious to even catch their eyes. They're scrolling through thousands of tweets a day and Twitter storms and other things. So
I am so curious to see the results of this week's litmus test. That's for sure. I'll just leave it at that so we can stream about it in the future. I'll leave some fruit hanging. We've got plans in the works here. That's what setting goals is all about. It's about having a plan, putting a plan in place, knowing like why would you even set them in the first place? What's your purpose? What's your why? Figuring out those things really does give you a sense of control for your future. I feel like that's so tying in with what we're doing with planning for the tour, planning for the fashion show, planning for the events that are coming up, planning for tours, you're planning for major merch, you're planning for all of these things that are coming in. And if you don't know where to start, you got to start with your why so we can figure out how to get forward. I mean, what better group to have so much support in these focus group. I love that. These small, intimate groups where we're having these conversations, not only about crypto, we're having them about life and we're having them about planning out our future too. Like as staked Hexicans, we know that we're looking at least at 15 years together. So let's really jump this off the ground and make it the best we can possibly be. And what better way than to facilitate open communication and bridging gaps with communities to reach more eyes and bring more attention to where we are. I was just in I'll stop speaking in a second, but I was just in a space before I came on here, and there was many members of the XRP army in there, and they all really, so many of them spoke so highly of Hex. And this is just early days. So to be in an intimate group where you're looking at less than 200 people and few of them members spoke that are very pronounced XRP army, for them to speak so highly of Hex, that gets me really excited because nobody's looking at numbers. People we're working off of networking and community. So
absolutely, I'm a little bit familiar. I mean, XRP was the first crypto that came to my attention in many. I mean, obviously Bitcoin, but it was kind of one of the second ones that came in because of the utility factor. Was something I could relate to in my real life, day job. So it's not Hex, but it is an open-minded community. I know a lot of people have feelings about it for whatever reason, work concerns about central bank currencies and things like that. But I think that that's a good audience, would translate well into people that might become HEXicans, because they can understand the CD completely the same way they understand the need for something better than Swift banking code.
Yes, absolutely. We're still like looking at the update of updating Swift banking code came into play, and please correct me if I'm wrong, what, 1973? And we're still running off of that code. It's, what year is it? 2022?
It's a hot mess. I have horror stories of, 6-7 figure wires being lost for days, days. And like when you wire money, typically it's not a situation. I mean, we know this from liquidations, right? When you're wiring money and it's typically, you don't typically have days. Nobody wires money a week ahead of time. People wire money when the money needs to get there, and having it lost for, days, weeks, not good. Just not good.
It is not good at all. Oh, shoot. I didn't update the rest of my slides. Oh, I guess we'll have to stream about that some other time. But really, that's where systems that are coming into play with real world utility are going to have massive plays. We're looking at XRP. We're looking at the XRPL, which is the XRP, the ledger for XRP, right? And so we're looking at Sologenic off of that. We're looking at Corium down from that, which is giving us, like, Solo's giving us airdrops. There's so many opportunities for passive income coming down the pipeline of XRPL. That's something with clarity from the SEC. I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes too. Like, the growth within the Richard Hart ecosystem is massive, will be massive, but right now we're in excited days, we're planning days, we're goal setting days, we're bear market days. So, like, Kaylin, let's go back to the golf tournament, because I really want to make sure that people know where they can go to donate to help onboard more women into the DeFi space, into cryptocurrency, and into the Hex community, where they are welcome.
Yeah, so you can go straight to this website that you're on right here, ksb.tv, excuse me, / I always get that wrong, golf. And that'll take you straight to the event page. And then there's like a little button under the Hex Ladies logo. Excuse me. Where you can, you want to go ahead or you can just click on that view more under events. That goes to the golf tournament. And then there's like a little button right under the Hex Ladies logo.
Okay, sorry. Oop, there we go. Hex Ladies logo.
Yeah, that's donate. And then that is one way that you can donate.
Awesome.
You can also do Cash App, Hex Ladies, just money sign Hex Ladies. And then for all of our crypto, people out there, we have an Ethereum address. We can probably put it in the chat. But yes, we are promoting primarily on Twitter, so the address is all over Twitter. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat as well.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I forget that I'm on camera sometimes, so I'm like leaning sideways, I'm upside down. I was thinking, I was concentrating on putting it in the chat too, because I'm so excited to get the word out there and get more women on the course. And if you're not a professional golfer, you are more than welcome, so that you don't make us look bad. Please come and join.
I'm not a golfer. I hear the setup means that I'll still be okay. I'm good with a wedge. I'm really good in a sand trap. I don't know what that's a metaphor for, but I'm sure we can come up with it by the end of the tournament.
Yeah. Why don't we scroll down a little bit, and it has a tournament format.
Yes.
I was gonna say, well, the irony of us compiling all of our skills, like Robin, you got that set. Like, I'm good with a long drive. HEXiB, she said she's good with her short game. So, like, maybe the three of us could get together and make one whole unit, part of a 3-4 person team. So anyway, we'll figure it out. But I'll be out there at 7 a.m. Repping the ladies out there before the sun hits, doing the crypto talk, the networking, engaging in then in the afternoon, I'm going to hang out with all of y'all while you are golfing and having a good time.
Well, and that's an important aspect of goal setting too, right? Is expectations. I don't expect myself between now and the next, less than 60 days to turn into a really freaking good golfer.
No.
So my goal is to be out there with my, with, the community, enjoying, a beautiful course, a great day. And that's my goal, and anything else on top of that is just, that's the gravy. That's the bonus. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
Is Sammy in the back room now?
I am trying so hard to get her on, but I'm really bad at multitasking today. It's the most amazing work week Friday. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like the wheels got turning this week with everything going on.
I saw her comment in the private chat, so I thought maybe she was just down at the bottom waiting to be added.
Is she? Oh, yay, she is.
Yes.
There we are.
I sent her the link.
Thank you so much, Robin.
Oh, you're welcome.
There she is.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey, Sammy.
Sorry I'm late. I did jump on stream with Dom and Grips the heavy metal HEXican. So I wanted to try and make yours too. So it's been a bit busy this morning. How are you all?
Good.
Your sound's a little wrecked, but you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sounded like a little like you're underwater. I figured it was probably just,
Should I go out and come back in?
No, just give it a sec. Maybe it'll adjust. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you could join us. Good morning. And that's your morning, correct?
Yeah, Saturday morning here. Thanks for
morning.
being busy. I was listening to you ladies talk, and about onboarding people in a Hex. Trust Wallet have now added a buy Hex button.
Yep.
That is really exciting news.
That's pretty cool.
See, that's the stuff that should be out there trending on Twitter instead of some of the toxic stuff I saw today. I've spent more time on Twitter today than I have in like months. And I was like, ew, ew, ew.
Then I'm glad my other life took my eye away, and it's been an insane week. I don't know who else has experienced that, but it's been crazy, and it speaks to the goal setting thing, because some projects that I've been working on for over a year, one of them I've been working on since March of 2021, and another one I've been working on they were in their infancy before that, but they became daily work. One in March of 2021, and the other one in probably November of 2021. And they're now starting to come into that final lap, and so many freaking so many emotions. It's just been a lot. I'm sitting on the ground in the forest with some rosé and a cup. And my best friend gave me with a candle lit, trying to just chill out from literally the hour that, where the volume turned up right before I joined the stream. And remembering that you have to take that time when you're goal setting is really freaking important. Because I started to feel like I didn't even know what I was feeling, because I was feeling so much.
Yeah, it must be difficult, Robin, with what you're going through at the moment as well. It must be weighing in on your work life when you try and focus and goal set, and then you got stuff in your private life going on, which weighs on you as well, thinking about that and stuff like that.
Well, the hardest thing is that I feel like the one aspect I've been able to contain, but the other, the place, my Achilles heel is my letting my work life bleed in too much, not having good enough boundaries around my work life. That is my personal Achilles heel. So when I had meetings I needed to attend today to finish that final lap of the 14-month project, or the 16-month project, whatever it is now, it was a challenge to, one, cut them off, period, because they were freaking out about stuff that was their responsibility. So first, trying to get them to cut them off, and then cut them off in enough time for me to give myself time to regroup, to go deal with the other thing. And we don't think about that. At least I don't. I'm a chronic overscheduler. So when I'm trying to accomplish my goals, I'll end a meeting at 10 10 and think that I can hop on another one at 10:15. It's really not good. You know, it's really not good. I mean, like it might be enough for me in the future, but it's not enough for me now because I'm still learning that boundary. Like I've learned that I need at least 30. And maybe in the future when I can turn it on and off a little bit better, I can take it down to 15.
Yeah. It's good that you're so committed to your work, Redbird.
I like what I do. At the end of the day, I really like my people. And when I sit there and I'm having a shitty day, you know, do I still like this? And it's not 100%, but nothing is. That's why it's called work. You know, otherwise it'd be called sitting on the beach drinking a margarita. No, it's called work for a reason. You know, it tests you. It tests your muscles and your brain, and your brain, and it tests your learning and it tests your experience. It does all of that, and it makes you stronger, just like exercise does. So it's okay.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's why it's important to set goals in all aspects of your life, your health, your wealth, yourself. Like your health is a big part of it too. If you're, like for me, I'm finding myself having to be much more sedentary because I'm having to do a lot of computer work. Whereas before I would always make myself physically busy because I'm naturally like, I can't stand sitting still. I want to be, especially when I'm excited about something that I'm doing. So I find mapping out a plan, pun intended, has really helped me to focus on what I need to have in front of me. What are my goals financially? It has really helped me focus on other things during the bear market because I'm not looking at my portfolio. I already have an action plan. I am everyday active, working on a millionaire mindset. That is something that I am really passionate with sharing with other people, is that mindset change is the first thing that needs to open and give yourself some flexibility with that, put your ego aside in these spaces and really listen to what these other people are saying, or, everyday conversations that you're having with people. You'll find your onboarding will be much more fluid because you're not waiting for your turn to speak. You're actually listening, and you'll know the right way to deliver that message. It's just so exciting.
Lindsay, are you full-time crypto?
What's up?
Are you full-time crypto?
I am full-time crypto. I wake up in the morning and I have to remember to take one of my goals this year was to make some time for myself because I am full-time crypto and I'm passionate about what I'm doing. So for me to not work myself into 14-hour derailment days, because then I'll burn myself out, I set a goal to take 1 hour a day. And so that smushing that together, because I have to be efficient with these things, right? We have to create systems and efficiencies in our lives. My efficiency is to bring my exercise and my me time and work on my health and myself, like all in one. And that by doing that, I've been doing yoga every morning. Yoga with Adrienne. She's amazing. I'll put the link in the chat and in the description. And for those that are listening in on the podcast, I'll put the link in your description too. So that is like something huge for me. That was a big goal this year. How about you guys? What's besides like all the crazy things you've been going on, what's something that you've done for your mapping, so to speak?
Well, I haven't mapped anything. I work 10-hour days.
Your goal is to get to America, to PulseCon.
Well, that's it. You know how long I've wanted to go to America for? Oh my God, it's been over 20 years. So I'm finally. And you know what's strange? I've had so many dreams, right, about going to America. This is even before crypto, and I never get there in the dream. Like, it is weird. So it's going to be amazing. Like, it's just going to be a trip of a lifetime. But for me, I work 10-hour days from home, and I shouldn't boast, Lindsay, because you're working the 14-hour days, but I'm stuck on the phone because I work in a call center from home. So literally I'm chained to the desk for 14 hours. So on my breaks, I get 2 15 minutes and 1.5 hour. So on the 15 minutes, I go for a 5-minute walk outside, and then the half hour, I go for a 10-minute walk, because if I don't, I'm going to go crazy. So that's my time of the day to try and recharge. And then sometimes on the weekend, I'm that exhausted. Like, I just flake out. I chill, and I try to go to gym. I try and walk an hour a day when I'm not working, and then also do gym for about an hour. So, and plans wise, at the moment, I'm going through a similar situation like you, Redbird, but not as hairy. At the moment, yeah, it's only been a year, and we're still separated on one roof, and so that sort of bungles up a lot. Like, I've got so much going up in here that, I mean, I've got small goals, and this bear market's not helping with them either. But, you've got to aim big to get anywhere in life. And that's what I tell my friends. Like, it doesn't matter if it didn't happen, as long as you aim big and go high, one day you're going to meet those goals.
Absolutely. And what better way to document that than, well, let me ask you, like, what is some way, like, do you document that? Do you document your goals, setting a goal and documenting, like, achieving it?
Like, very occasionally. I mean, at the moment, I'm looking forward to having a holiday and having a break from my ex, and a break from the kids, so I can just reevaluate the whole situation. 'Cause it's been kind of a shock, to our family, because we're a very, very run-of-the-mill suburban family where, everything just runs smoothly. So this has been a big spanner in the works. So I thought, after my holiday, which I get to spend 10 days like in my own space, I'm going to reevaluate and, see what I'm going to do. But at the moment, it's just everywhere. But yeah, definitely, got some short-term goals. And it's always good to have them.
Absolutely.
I tend to document my thoughts, which basically are how I feel, more than I do the goal itself. Like, it helps me to get it out somewhere. So it's either like, and some of the stuff, especially when I'm like today, I literally like was standing in my kitchen and I'm like, I had no idea what I was even feeling. Is this excitement? Is this anxiety? Is this anger? Why do I feel like I want to cry? I had to sit there for like a spell and try to figure out even what I was freaking feeling, because like it was everything at once. It was excitement, it was anxiety, it was fear, it was relief, it was anger, it was just too much. So like, one of the things I do that helps me with my mapping is when that happens, and it happens especially when people are tackling longer term goals. You'll have that, I don't know, maybe, like, I think most people have that. I don't think I'm unique, like, I'm not that special, that, when you've been working on something for a long time, you get that marathon syndrome, right? Like that last mile where you're both exhilarated because the end's in sight, but you're like, you realize you've got 1 mile left and you're exhausted and you're about to collapse. That's kind of how I felt standing in my kitchen today. So I had to sit down and I grabbed the journal and just like, and it was like, that's a better solution than like, it's like calling my friends, and Lindsay and I have I've talked to just about all of you offline, like out of public spaces, out of even Twitter DMs. Like, I have direct access to, amazing group of HEXican ladies. But sometimes like, it's like if I'm spinning, like, what are you going to do with me? Except like there's nothing to do with me. The only person that can fix that is me. And so like, part of my mapping is that, like, again, it's just like the work bleeding into the boundaries. So Sammy, like, your situation would be harder for me right now with my goals than my situation is, because I have that time. The kids are with their dad. Like, we're not living together. So like, I get a lot of time to think about what is next for me outside of what.
Definitely, Redbird. And I do think about you. Sometimes I think, Redbird's, the way that you've done it, it's really clever. And I think, we all should be a lot more like you, because you're very focused. You're very in control of your life. And there's been a crisis in your family and you've taken control and you're controlling the situation. Whereas the difference in mine is I haven't yet got control. And I would love some space. I would love it, but unfortunately, I have a uncooperative partner who won't give me that space. So it's just really difficult. But that's us being women as well. We can cop a lot, we can take a lot, and it's just something in life that's been thrown. And I'm sure things will get better. It's just a bad time at the moment.
And I'm hugely flattered. Like I am I always feel like, there's this, I've sat through a bunch of corporate events where they talk about be the duck, calm on the outside while the feet are paddling frantically underneath. I am not a duck. We've had this conversation, Lindsay, before. Like heart on sleeve. Like if I'm panicking, you all will see it all over me. Like, I'm not a duck. And so I'm hugely flattered, Sammy. Thank you. Because while I'm not being a duck, I look somehow composed. I appreciate that. It's a work in progress. And, and grateful again to, the family, which some of you guys know, there's more to them than just, the 19s, Hex and Mom. There's a whole crew there too, where, we're kind of committed to just continue to learn forever. And so like I have that support. Like I know it's never going to end. I know there's no finish line. Thank God. Like I don't want a finish line. There's a couple of, quotes about death, like sliding in, like half dressed, drunk, whatever, like, slide into that final goodbye, like, with a life well lived and kind of just knowing that it's good. Like whatever you didn't do, it's okay. You did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Blake HEXican? What about you with goal setting? How writing it down? Like, how do you document?
Yeah. I'm really good at goal setting in my career, in my business life. I am pretty horrible at writing down my goals for myself. Like actually thinking about how to prioritize myself. What do I want to do with my diet and my health and personal time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I struggle with writing it down.
There you go.
Because I know that I'm likely always going to prioritize the work first. So then I feel like if I write it down, then I'm a failure because I didn't, go through with it. You know what I mean? So that's why I struggle with when it comes to writing those or setting those goals for myself. But when it comes to my career, I like you said, Robin, I was laughing, I was chuckling when you were talking about, those boundaries. Because I feel a lot of pressure financially, to match, like the what my parents or my grandparents, not even my parents, because my parents, don't need to get in that, but what my grandparents provided for me, I feel like I need to be able to do that for my children or more. This is the first time in my life that I'm 100% working and my income is based off of what I do. Like I am 100% in this entrepreneurial world, right? Where for the last 15 years, I've had a very, very standard, 40-hour a week paycheck, never missed a paycheck. I get my 2 weeks of vacation, and all that. So things are very, very, very different for me right now. So I try to stay focused, as much as I can on what is going to provide financial freedom for my husband and my kids.
Yeah,
And
you will be in a good place.
I'm so much respect for you, and entrepreneurs in general. I work with them, but while I collect my my operations paycheck, like it's like I'm flirting with it, but I'm not. I won't go on the date, or certainly I haven't married it yet. But I'm so intrigued by it. But I feel like I still have time. And I think this boundary thing is a really important aspect of me. Like that is a goal, to be more independent. And I found a work environment where I've never been, this independent. Like I've never been this me in my freaking conservative legacy finance commercial. So like not typically a lot of women, legacy finance world. I've never been this like authentically myself in that environment or wildly appreciated the way I am for being that person. So
Yep.
like, I feel like this is and so when it comes to setting goals, like, I feel like even though, you know, if I'm the same way, like if I had written down, like, I'm going to have my own business by now, I'd be like looking at the journal, totally crumbing, you know, like, so like, but I feel like I give myself props for like the places where I've slightly tweaked my boundary, like embracing, like speaking up the way that I do where I'm at now and getting that feedback in. It's like, okay, this is training, right? Athletes train. I'm just in training, you know. I'm not at the Olympic event yet, but maybe soon.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, though. That's, you know, thank you guys for sharing that. And it's so important for relatability across the board, wherever you are in, like, obviously, if you found this channel, you're in DeFi and you're into cryptocurrency and you're interested in learning more about like what we're talking about here. For you guys to have that relatability across the board, all it takes is connecting with one person on the other end to be like, oh my gosh, I do the same thing, or I feel that way too. And then we get together and we hold each other accountable. And that's how it gets easier to do things for our personal selves or hold our personal selves accountable. Like I am doing the fashion show for Suzanne's art at Zouk nightclub this PulseCon in September. I'm so excited. And so a personal goal of mine was to be able to like commit to that dress size. I was like shaking my finger to text her. I was like, if I commit to that size, it's like being a bridesmaid, right? Like, oh, if I send them that size, I was like, I gotta be on for that date, right? So, but that's, but that's like part of the accountability, right? Like that's being part of a community and wanting to represent and show up. So I'm like pretending you guys are all holding us all accountable for Vibra Finance, delivering like updated market news to you guys. I'm holding myself accountable for making sure that diversified portfolios are in the best assets like possible out there, something that's going to actually yield you rewards, let's say. My goal on stream tonight is to highlight the differences in the ways that we set goals, the way we document goals, and then the way that we're following through on goals. And this is early days to watch the progress of, we set a goal to raise little less than $2,000 for the golf tournament. We surpassed that goal. Now we're on to the next goal. So it's contagious. And like I challenge everyone out there listening and watching, I'm challenging you today to set a goal for the next 21 days. One goal, set one, take a picture of this. I'll make sure that you can document or like download a thing and help me test it out. Like I'm making a planner to help people have one centralized place. Like I cannot get away from the hand to paper thing. I love writing it out. And, you know, like, so that's my goal for this, is to give you guys like one centralized place to like write down one goal for 21 days, make it a habit. Drinking more water. That'll train you for the golf course at Pulse. That'll train you for the golf course, and then everybody wins because your team won't get left behind. So these are things I'm talking about, accountability buddies, right? So factor it all back to that.
Lindsay, sorry to drop in on you. I just got to run. I've got to take one of the kids' boyfriends to work. So if you're still on when I get back, I'll come back in.
Lovely, Stanley. Thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
me. Talk to you soon. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I literally took a picture because even if you send this to me, like I'll find a way to ignore it, but it's really hard for me to ignore images on my phone because I take pictures of things all the time to like remember to do something with it or whatever. Like I'm in my camera or the freaking wildlife, right? Because we know that like I do that because it makes me happy. So now I have a picture. Every time I take a picture of a deer, I'm going to see this dang thing. Thank you, Lindsay. Although thank you also for giving me my goal because I'm terrible at drinking enough water. And like, I will die in September if I don't do that. Like, and I don't want to die, like, and I don't want to pass out or like embarrass myself either. So like, okay, got it.
Yep.
21 days of water. You all heard it here first.
I love it. That's a really easy place to start. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, 100% I need to drink more water. So that's a goal that I would definitely be willing to put down and work to attain. Even like the fact that Sammy takes that little walk every day. That's something that my husband has been like, you should really go and take a walk every day. And I'll do it, like a couple days, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm busy. I've got to get this done. Like, it's just something else is just always more important, right?
Always. Something's always going to be more important. And we always put ourselves on the back burner because the barn is going to burn down if we don't get that done. It's like circle that right back to work boundaries. When you're so passionate about what you're doing, and then you combine that sense of urgency with that sense of responsibility, watch out. That makes you fiercely unstoppable. You're a mama bear. You are businesswoman. You are Wonder Woman at that point. We're capable of balancing so many plates. It's amazing.
Yeah.
This
is a little off topic, but you might see me like fidgeting a lot because my phone has just been blowing up a lot. And I'm like, why is it that, I'm getting messages on this? And it wasn't anything serious, but, we posted our Twitter storm again today. Right. And we were really looking at, we got some negative feedback, and we want everyone to feel like, everyone is welcomed, right? So it's not like we're trying to isolate you with this marketing approach, but it's a marketing approach, and it was meant to serve a very, particular purpose. And so we went with this other method, and, we just find pictures, right? You make memes out of just whatever pictures come up. And so now I have somebody online that's basically saying, you used a picture of like a real golfer. I don't know who this lady is on this picture, but you're basically saying that she's involved, kind of deal. This could be a lawsuit or whatever, and I'm like, you can't win for losing. Like, you just, like, I was really just trying to show you what a real woman looks like on the golf course. Like, it's not about sexuality, just like, hey, would you like to golf with us? And there's always going to be someone that has an opinion, that is negative. Like, you just can't beat it. You just can't.
I'm dying right now. Like, we didn't say presented by, so and so, LPGA. We didn't say, and meet so and so.
Right, but I guess it says join us on the green, so that could be like she saying join her on the green.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Allegedly, unless the photo is copyrighted, branded, and protected, it is free. It's free use. That's where you are. Like, you're a JPEG. So
you're a JPEG.
Open source, guys. Open source. We're well versed with this in DeFi, right? Open source.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, this is
NFT on Binance. That's what you are.
Stock images, open source, me. Like, yeah, no. They okay.
You can find you on
Yeah.
I'm dying.
So now I'm gonna add some emojis to their face and troll this guy even harder.
Engagement. We know that engagement is engagement. Like, there is no play. Like, the saying, like, any press is good press, has been around forever, but it's never, ever, ever applied more than it has in present day social media. And
that's because we're so accessible.
Our age is so freaking good at this. Like, I mean, it's, oh my gosh.
Yep. So if y'all are on Twitter, go like that post so that we can troll this guy for taking this way too seriously.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, at the end
I'm gonna find like a Brad. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, like, at the end of the day, if you don't prefer our choice of marketing for this event, then I am not challenging you. I am welcoming you to please raise your hand, use your digital marketing skills, use your voice, use your own picture,
Help us.
help us. Help us.
Amen.
We are open. Many hands make light work, and I'm not out there to offend anybody, but I'm also not out there to apologize for anything that I am here working hard for, and you're on the other side of a keyboard criticizing. So until you can put your money where your mouth is, which you can do by donating to the ladies of Hex and their golf efforts to raise awareness for the community that you're sitting behind your keyboard shaming, excuse me. So we'll get on the golf course and we will represent Hex in the greatest way possible by diversity, because that is what decentralization is all about. No? So thank you for helping these efforts, ladies, and kudos, and let's keep kicking some A.
And even your troll. Thank you for your efforts, trolls. We do. We absolutely appreciate you.
Yeah, sure. You give us, honestly, at the end of the day, I look at that like great
engagement.
great ideas, because whether it's black is white, right? There's yin and yang, and where you're coming at me sideways saying I don't like this, I know that that's getting you prickly enough to you paying attention. You're engaging with my post. Thank you.
Yeah. And duly noted, we'll send posts that engage you too. And I want to make it very clear to whoever's watching this that, like, what our plan, we met the budget and went a little bit over. The plans for, continuing that will include more ladies and more Hex. Like, it's not coming in any way, shape, or form. Like, we're not getting cuter skirts, we're not getting more drinks.
Buying our own
it's not
skirts.
the people, it's not the
Donated
ladies.
shirts.
Yeah, it's not the ladies or the golfers or the spectators that participated in the first round. It's not coming to us. It's coming to include more people, more HEXicans, more ladies.
Yeah.
Yes. And to represent
legitimate professional golf appearance, something to really promote Pulse Chain. And if it has to be the ladies that are doing it, then we're willing to do it. If some of the men in our community would like to step up and get out there and represent for Hex or represent for Pulse X or Pulse Chain, then do it. You know what I mean? But we got a good group of ladies right here that's willing to work hard for Hex. And we're just asking for a little bit of, monetary support.
And not a lot's many. This is a big community, and many hands make light work. We're not talking about, we're not talking about ETH fees even. There's Cash App, there's PayPal, there's other ways to contribute, and $20, $10, like whatever. Like we're not. Yeah, we understand it's a bear market. Trust me, we all understand it's a bear market. There's nobody in the world today, whether you're participating in DeFi or crypto or the stock market or just, go and buy anything from the grocery store or put gas in your car, who doesn't understand that, it's not a year and a half ago. So yeah, any amount, and it will go to the community. Like, the efforts will go towards raising awareness about this ecosystem.
Absolutely. I can't wait to stand on the winner's podium after the 7 a.m. round with my Hex shirt on like this next to my teammates. And I'm walking through that right now. So I got practice.
Manifest that win.
I'm going to have to.
My wedging. Standing still when it comes to golfing. I'm okay with putting, but I know I'm mean in a sand trap.
Oh yeah, sandbox space. That's what's up.
I don't know. I've never lost at Top Golf, so what does that mean? I don't know.
Dang.
Oh man.
Top Golf. I mean, I'm a killer when it comes to that birdie game. They got like a what is that, Angry Bird edition? Oh yeah.
We don't have one of those around us, but I have had the experience, and those are so fun. Like,
so much fun.
it doesn't have to be an intimidating experience. Come out, put a Hex t-shirt on, stand near the ladies' hole, come cheers on, hand us a water bottle. We'll sign a ball for you, or there's other things that they're willing to do. Those marketing schemes are really brilliant. If you really go through these efforts are all across the board, and from hilarious to serious, we've got you covered. But I love the idea of having community members from different projects representing, and you're not just having, like, there's networking, right? And then there's also that social aspect, which in this DeFi space, it looks to be that we're getting away from that TradFi sense of good old boy room mentality, and it's more like, I'm started this project because I saw that man doing that and I want to do it better. Like, I'm not jumping on my jet or eating steaks. I'm sitting here in front of my computer for hours working for free because this is something I'm passionate in and I know it will change the world. Like, how do you not get behind these projects and be like, let's go? So I'm so excited to see them in person too.
Yeah, and that's why I like golf, because it tends to bring out that spirit of competition, even if you're bad at it, right? Like, it brings out a spirit of competition, and to be with all these developers, that's just going to motivate them to go back to their projects, right? If they're talking about, oh, you guys are like this far away, or you have this special little thing that you're going to do, that's just going to create new ideas and send everybody home from PostCon like motivated to do work and get ready for the real launch if it doesn't happen before.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of in emerging markets, there's a lot of synergies between programs. Like, you never know what idea is going to spark a tangent for you that becomes, a passion, an opportunity, an asset, an income. Like, you don't really know when you're engaging with emerging markets. And so having this opportunity, we've become, because of the gatekeeping and the FUD around Hex, like, we're very protective. But I feel like we've hit that place where it's time for us to go, like, and personally, I feel like we're flipping awesome. So it's time for us to go out into the world and, like, show people what DeFi looks like. Show people what a community of diverse people who don't always agree, who don't even necessarily have to like each other half the time. But, we have the one common thing that keeps it all together, like, going forward. And, and what that creates, it's a really amazing thing. And it's important that like-minded people who understand that, hearing things that sometimes make you cringe will expand your own resources, your learning, your brain, and put you on different paths. Like, it's so critical to a healthy ecosystem. So critical. Like, I feel like we've really come away from that in the world, where, like, if you don't like what someone says, you ghost them, you shut them down, you try to censor them. Like, it's time. PulseCon is here, and it's time for us to go out and engage with people who, may or may not, agree with us on, 90% of things, but we have this find the one common thread and run with it. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
It needed to be said then. We needed to hear it. So thank you for sharing it.
So I'm interested to see how things are going over on Twitter. If we were successful at all, if anybody, resonated with our post this week.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to give everyone an update on those statistics when we get them rolling in. But I feel like we'll give it a fair rollout. It's early. It's still early on. We still got some hours.
We got the whole night to go.
Oh, yeah, we got the whole night to go.
26 hours. The last weekend, it took us 26 hours to get to that first goal. So, even if we're just trying to accomplish half of the next tier in this week and finish it the next week, let's see.
Right. Well, and even then, like there's no reason for us to assume that the more conservative approach wouldn't have gotten more engagement. So, there's no reason to assume that even if it's 90 something percent, men, some of those men don't necessarily like, half naked booties, like, or I mean, they do, like, not to say they don't like half naked booties. They've just meant that's not like, that's because that would be a complete mistake. What I mean to say is that they're not necessarily going to donate to something that, they might not want their daughter to do, or, their sister, their wife.
We got a lot of slack from men, right? And so that to me is what begged the question, or, at least presented the question of, would you give if we took a different approach?
Yes.
Right? It's one thing to say, oh, I prefer this approach, but would you actually give? Does it create a call to action?
Yes. Like, just because you prefer it doesn't mean you're going to act on it,
Exactly.
There's action,
Actions speak louder than words, right?
This is an action situation. We can, I'm the first one to run off on philosophical tangents. Lindsay knows this. But anyone that's met me in person, like in real life, knows this. I'm perfectly happy to go down, esoteric rabbit holes. But at the end of the day, like, I take action, and I, like, the rubber meets the road somewhere. I'm very action oriented. And I'm curious to see where other people take action.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from the legacy finance world, where, this is not an approach that would be remotely acceptable. Like, this would be a fireable offense. Like, I'm really curious to have that conversation about that, depending on where this all falls. Like, if it falls into, the camp of, what's expected for me to present in a finance world for a golf tournament, like, the Bankers Association that I'm part of. And then, if it falls in that camp, I will have that conversation. I'll be like, all right, we should be aware of this. This is something I want to be aware. I'm raising a daughter. This is something I want to be aware of 100%. Yeah. If it falls in the other camp, that's another conversation.
Got to look at your target demographic. At the end of the day, you have to respond to the market that you're targeting.
Right. The actionable target, regardless of what's said.
And on that note, I can't even, bam, mic dropped. You guys really nailed it and laid that out. Thank you. Because actions are necessary. If we don't make small changes every single day, set one goal for 21 days with us, one goal of drinking more water. I can 100% get on board with. I can always remind myself to drink more water. So we'll set ourselves to a 21-day water drinking challenge to help hopefully form a habit. And then we can help hold each other accountable, because we're talking all day long through Twitter or phone calls or Telegram or something anyway. So for the next 21 days, we can continue to raise awareness to bring more women into DeFi, bring awareness to bring more women onto the golf course at Pulse Masters with us, and bring some awareness to hold ourselves in that line of importance too, because we deserve that time and effort, or at least the hydration for ourselves.
Yep, absolutely.
And more people to the tournament in general. Come to
and PulseCon.
And PulseCon, yes. Do not, at the end of the day, I am, there's a whole world developing around virtual reality. I'm, and maybe this is one of my boundaries I need to re-explore, but for right now, I still like I still like this world, or, sitting on my butt in my garden, drinking my wine, things that take place, all senses engaged. I can hear the birds, I can smell the trees, I can taste my wine, I can talk to you guys, I can see, I can hear. For me, immersion's important. And so these real life HEXican event, or PulseCon, these real life crypto events are so they're amazing. They're just amazing. And I know I'm not the only one that's wired that way, because 90% of the women that I'm in this like direct chats with, whether it be, direct messaging through Twitter, or I have your cell phone, or I freaking go to your house. Like, all of these connections were made in person.
Yep.
Or were made before in person and then augmented in person. So come and join us. Trust me, you're going to have fun.
Absolutely. But HEXican, do you have anything you want to close out with?
No, just if you guys could go by the KSB.TV YouTube page. We are actively trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that we can really do like a full day live stream. So the KSB TV YouTube page, and then KSB.TV is our website.
There we go. Take a look at your YouTube interwebs there. There we go. Whoa! Oops.
Well, golf tournament promos. Get you.
Awesome.
Hit that like and subscribe right there.
Sorry, I totally forgot how to mute my mic on that one. I was like, panic freeze.
You can show them on live how to do it, how to hit that like and subscribe.
There you go. All right. Let's see. How am I not? Oh, this isn't my computer. That's why. I was like, what? That's not right. Okay. There we go. Subscribe. All notifications.
Like, how am I not subscribed? Lindsay,
Right.
why are you not already subscribed?
I like them all. I really like the segment that you guys did. That was really fun.
Which one?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause it there. Over here, see this little thumbs up? This is the like button. This is the save button. So usually I'll save it to like my watch later.
Oh.
Actually. So I can save that and share that. And then later I'll go through here and I'm going to share it by copying it and then heading over to my Twitter, and I'll share it on my Twitter. And then I actually have another platform with many other links. So I'll put that up on all my links too. So we can all loop back together, because that's what community's for. It's to boost algorithm, to get the same message across. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're helping us support the ladies' efforts to onboard more women into crypto, into Hex, into Pulse Chain, into PulseX, into the Richard Heart ecosystem, into XRPL, into Hedera, like whatever ecosystem you're entering, if you are a woman, we are here to welcome you. We are excited to play golf with you. We are excited to hang out with you at PulseCon. There are so many fun things coming up in this community. So come on in, use the hashtag Ladies of Hex and help us get that algorithm flowing, get the word out there. $5 donation to Cash App. If, like a water on the golf course, honestly, no joke, could save a life. So we would really appreciate your help and effort. And if you don't like our marketing, then we appreciate your efforts and help with that too. So yep,
comment.
That's that.
Tell us what you want.
No, I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing this with us. Please go like and subscribe to KSB TV on YouTube. And Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our CEO, Adam, and Hex Machina will be going over some market recap for the week. And they have some other awesome gems to drop with some updates. Tuesday morning, 10 a.m., Vibra Tea Time with SJ and I will be going through something that kind of ties in with setting goals, which is a way to tune in, like Robin was saying, to tune in and to stay present, a multisensory experience. And I'll tease into that because it's going to be quite the treat. So I hope you can all tune in with us. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here with me tonight. Your time is valuable. I know you have goals set. I know you have a million things to do. Sammy, I saw you in the green room. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you.
Good night.
Is there anything else for tonight? Vibra Finance signing off. Live stream. See you later, guys. Thank you for joining me. Good night.
Good night.